Come correct or don't come at all.
This is the Hartzog Hustle Podcast.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And we're talking about the hustle, strategy, and mindset you need to win in the areas of your finance, your purpose, and your future.
Know what I'm saying?
If you have heart and you want to learn how to activate the power of your hustle, then this is the podcast for you, baby.
Congratulations.
And now, your hosts, Anthony and Janilka Hartzog.
This is how it should be done.
Let's get it. Another episode of the Hartzog Hustle Podcast. What's going on, guys? What's up? My name is Anthony Hartzog. If you are new here, we help you. If you're 9 to 5, we help you create more impact, influence, and income outside your jobs. That's the goal here at the Hartzog Hustle Podcast. What's going on?
If you introduce me.
Oh, God. Mrs. Hartzog Hustle.
Wow,
Janilka.
not oh, God.
Yeah, you got to start doing your own intros nowadays.
Now
man.
we're 30-something episodes in. I got to do my own introduction.
At some point, you got to lift up your big boy, big girl pants and introduce yourself to the people.
Fine. I'm Janilka, everyone. Hello.
I'm turning off the podcast if that's the intro you're giving me.
But thank you for being here. Welcome back for those that are coming back with us. Please be sure to comment, subscribe, like. If you've been listening to us, if you enjoy what you're hearing, please go ahead and write us a review on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Maybe Google, Apple, Yahoo has one, Spotify, any of those. Go ahead and do that. And thank you for joining us.
All right, we're going to get into the review of the week.
Yes. So review of the week, they call it Love. And this is from Wealth Melrose. Sorry. I'm new to this podcast, and the few episodes that I've listened to have definitely been worth it. I've learned so much in just a short amount of time. I was never interested in opening a cleaning business until I came across this great couple. I can't wait until that time comes. Thank you. With the Nipsey flag and a blue heart. They might be crib. But
That's just the marathon flag. They call that the marathon flag.
Yeah, I'm kidding. But thank you, Wealth Melrose, for taking time out to write us a review. We really appreciate it, and we love to hear it. We love to hear that we're inspiring others.
Word. And if you guys didn't know, we own a 7-figure cleaning business, and we teach you how to start and scale a remote cleaning business without cleaning houses. You could check out Cleanit Business University. I believe we have a masterclass coming up, too, where you're going to drop all the game. I don't know when this episode is going to release, but hey, the link will be in the bio somewhere. If you want all the game, you give us about an hour of your time. I promise you can learn how to at least start, scale, and grow a remote cleaning business without cleaning any houses. And the masterclass is completely free.
Yes, I would like to point out that Anthony said I look like I'm wearing pajamas. So I want to say that.
I mean, that's the point of you being in your house to wear pajamas, right?
Yeah, but these are not like fancy pajamas like TLC from the what video was that? Red Light Special, I think.
I guess.
No, this is a shirt, by the way.
I see.
So we are gonna speak about a hot topic that has been hot since I went to college. You guessed it right. Student loan forgiveness. What does that mean? What does that look like? Our president recently announced a plan that he is putting into place. Him and his team is putting into place. Do you like it? Do you love it? What does it mean for you? What does it look like? So let's jump into that.
Yeah, and that's the goal, just to kind of give you guys what's happening and to kind of break it down in layman's terms, because a lot of information is going out there, and we're going to explain it the way we understand it to be. And I obviously, as you know, things may change. You may Google it one day and it may be changed at the end of the day. But listen, Biden been talking about student loan forgiveness.
That was his
his thing, right? That was the thing. And it was like, we did it, Joe. And so they're going to so we're going to give y'all some breakdowns. So President Joe Biden, he announced a plan to reduce student loan debt or address it along with forgiveness for borrowers. And he's going to be extending the payment pause throughout December of 2022.
What? And the reason that that's so big, I think before we even get into this, there is also a student loan forgiveness for those that may not know. For those that work in, what do you call it? I don't even know. I was part of it.
Educational?
Not necessarily education. Those that they have a forgiveness for people that work in education, that work in difficult communities. And that's like a 5-year forgiveness thing. But then Obama had put into place a 10-year forgiveness for those that work in like social service, if you will. So counselors, therapists, fire department, different people, you're part of this. You can get your loans paid off after 10 years of paying consecutively for 120 months. That's 10 years.
Yeah.
This pause has been in place since the pandemic, has been counting towards people's 10 years. So it's been, 2 years now. I don't know how long that the pause has been going on, has been counting towards people 10 years. So that has been great. So if you've been 7 years in, you've just got 2 years free, if you will, and you just have another year to pay. If you've
been paying consecutively.
If you've been paying consecutively, if you've applied, it's so many logistics to it. You can't say I've been working for this company for 7 years now. I'm going to apply it the 7th year, and can it count?
Nah.
You had to have started from before. So there's so much to it outside of this part of it, but I think that's one part of loan forgiveness, and then this is another part that's happening as well.
So yeah, so that one is a lot more stipulations. So I graduated college and I'm dating myself 2009.
You wouldn't have qualified because IT wasn't even part of what Obama put in place.
No. I'm just saying I graduated so long ago, and you don't really get into start paying off your loans until you feel like you got a little decent money in your pocket.
And what's decent money?
So I went into. I was doing forbearance, which means that they're gonna let you slide for a couple payments, and then at the end of usually I think it's like
years.
It was like 6 months after I graduated, you get the ability to not have to pay it back, and then they come back and they charge you interest on top of that.
Okay.
So after those 6 months when I graduated, I didn't have a job for 6 months. After 6 months after that, I just got a job, and I just started making $9 an hour at that point, and now they're asking me like, "Hey, Tone, where that money that you borrowed?" So I didn't really start paying my loans until like consecutive payments. So I went on an income-based repayment plan too.
Yeah, that's
so my loan payments were extremely low, and they started taking out a couple $100s a check and whatnot. But
you were paying into it. They didn't just take it from your check.
Yeah, I was paying into it.
Okay.
But my loans weren't
like
going anywhere. So when you talk about you got to do all these stipulations with this student loan forgiveness plan that they're going to be doing, a student loan relief, you don't have any of those major stipulations where there's a huge application period, or you got to do 8 years. You got to do an 8-year bid and 120 payments. So this only applies to federal student loan borrowers, and you may be sitting here saying, I don't know if I got a federal student loan, or I don't know if I did or if I didn't. So there's 4 types of federal student loans. You got subsidized, unsubsidized, you got Parent Plus, and they got some direct consolidation loans.
So if you were with, what's the company that everybody talks about that they're dodging? The name?
Sallie Mae.
If you were Sallie Mae, this is not for you, because Sallie Mae is a private loan, correct? Yes. So that is a clear distinction.
So, and if you want to know if you do have this, you could literally, if you want to call your
Fedloan.com, I felt it was back in the day.
I got the link here. So we'll also post that in the comments.
Okay.
So ed.gov is a place you could go and kind of check, what type of loans you have. But the federal student loans are loans made by the government, and they have fixed interest rates. They have income driven plans. So let's say, like I said, I was one of those people where I said I don't make a lot of money. Can you guys work with me type of thing? So they gave me an income-based repayment plan. So that was a federal student loan that I have. So we're talking about what?
I just want to throw in, I don't know if people know, you may be new here, that we don't have any student loan debt because we paid it off. No,
why are you over here bragging to the people?
No, I'm letting them know where we're coming from, because we're not in the same predicament.
No.
Exactly. So letting people know that we don't have student loan debt at this time because we paid it all off back in 2018. But we would have been in the same boat right now trying to see, do we qualify? When does it start? When do you have to apply? There's so many questions that people still have, and it's unclear, obviously, because it's recently announced. But yeah, that's all I was saying. That's not bragging.
That's definitely a little...
Well, that's that. It is what it is. I paid off my... I'm not
So
with it.
how much can be forgiven? So if you have a federal student loan, they're going to forgive up to $10,000. Now, the question is, who qualifies?
These people, right, are the people that have those 4 types that you mentioned.
So if you have a federal student loan, and if you make less than $125,000 a year.
I thought that was good.
So if you have a federal student loan and you make less than $125,000 a year, you qualify up to $10,000 of student loan forgiveness.
And couples who make less than $250K, because they did 125 and 125, still qualify, which I say that's good because based on stats, many people don't make that amount of money. Some people do, obviously, but most of us in America do not make that type of money. So I think a lot of people will fit under that umbrella.
But this is when you start seeing the humble brags like, oh, I can't qualify. That's their way of letting you know that they make over $125,000. So if you see your friends talking about I don't qualify, they trying to let you know how much they make. So that's so again, individuals who make less than $125,000 a year and couples who make less than $250,000 a year. So this is another stipulation they had. So they said if you have a Pell Grant and meet the income threshold, you will be eligible for up to $20,000 forgiven. So now your question, what's up?
No, I was just going to ask, what is a Pell Grant?
Exactly. So what is a Pell Grant? So if you were in a situation like me, where you were from the projects, which you were.
I'm from the projects too.
You had, here's what you didn't have. I had two younger brothers who were also a couple years younger than me. So, and then I had one working mom when I went to college.
Yep.
So I met the criteria.
I met the criteria.
And it's pretty much based for people who really need like that extra help. And it's a grant, so you don't have to pay it back.
You don't, or you do?
No, you do not.
Okay.
So your question may be, how do I know if I haven't had a Pell Grant? If you had a Pell Grant, you would know.
Is that those people that was with the EOP?
No. The
Okay.
EOP was another one. Educational Opportunity Program. And I think that's for a New York-based program, too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But Pell Grant, you would know because this is one of the only grants that you got that was like, you didn't have to do like a huge application for. It was like, listen, you either meet the requirements or you don't. You're broke.
Based on salary.
It was pretty like low bottom. Like you gotta meet these requirements.
You gotta be pretty poor, is what you're saying?
I don't want to say pretty poor, but you had to have substantial income requirements to meet it.
Okay.
Low income students, usually facing financial hardships, and you would know. So if you went to studentaid.gov, you could check if you had a Pell Grant, but more than likely you would know because I think we got up to like $6,000 each year for a Pell Grant, something
That's
like
really
that.
good.
And you didn't have to pay it back. So that was one of those refund checks you got that I spent the guy bought Jordans with.
So if you have a Pell Grant, then he's giving you up to $20,000. So the up to, okay, now that we're reading, this up to thing is the trick. Because that's what they say when stores be having discounts. Up to 25% off. But the thing that you want is only 10% off,
exactly.
Right? So once again, I guess they'll flush out more ideas as to how do they decide who gets the 10K versus you getting the 4K or the 5K. Like, how are they going to make those decisions? Will come down the line. Obviously, we don't got the answer, and they have not announced that.
So they got some stipulations, but it's pretty much saying it's capped at the amount of your debt. So let's say you got $15,000 in debt, and let's say you get $20,000 forgiven for the Pell Grant and the federal grant.
They ain't gonna pay that.
What?
They're not gonna give you 20. They're just gonna give you the 15, right?
Exactly. So
Okay.
it's capped at the amount of your debt. So if you got $15,000 of debt and you're eligible for up to 20, that $5,000 doesn't come in your pocket. It's
Yeah.
like, so
Come on now,
they just
people.
want to put but you never know. People may think I'm getting a refund check.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, just in regards to this conversation, a few people have reacted and said, why just 10K? Give us more. And I said, well, it's more than zero.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, well, his whole campaign was about forgiving debt. But then I said, realistically, did you think that he really was going to forgive debt? Personally, I don't think that any president is going to forget student debt across the board. It's $1 billion industry. I kind of feel like, why would they do that? Is how I think about it. Maybe that's me being like, okay, I should be more optimistic about our government. I don't know. But I just feel like in this day and age, why would our president or anyone really forgive all of the debt out there? Can they do it? Absolutely. I'm not saying that they shouldn't.
We just sent a couple billion over to Ukraine, right?
Right. All I'm saying is I don't feel that they will do it. So yes, this may not be you wanted 40,000 or you wanted more, but I still feel like it's a step at least.
I think you saying that because you ain't got no student loan debt, honestly.
Okay, no one can know for a fact because I don't have it, but I would say the same thing.
Yeah,
I would agree. I would want more because my student loans was at $68,000 6 years ago. So after interest, it would have been at God knows what. Even though I would have been paying it, it would have been at God knows what at this
75.
point. So I agree. I would want more than 10,000, but it's more than any other president or anybody else has done. And I think it's more like a surprise. If you get more, yippee. If not, it is what it is.
Like the stimulus checks,
right.
People said they wanted more, but everybody was happy with the money they got. And
It was more than,
that was the most money it literally stimulated the economy. Like people were that was when people talk about, you saw people buying Casa Azul in the club. Now they down to like, I don't know. Anyway, so the fine print, yes. So what is it up to is capped at the amount of your debt. So that's the only fine print right now. And now the next question is, what do I need to do to actually apply or receive this? So it's supposed to the extended pause, which means that you don't have to pay any you don't have any payments up until December.
So January 2023 is when
it starts again.
Okay.
Like you having to pay your debt, student loan debt. So that's automatically done. And the automatic relief due to the income data. So pretty much the Department of Education knows how much you make based on what you said your federal taxes are. So they know how much you make. But let's say you're like, you don't want to take any chances. You're like, I want to be on top of this stuff. You can sign up for updates on ed.gov/subscriptions. We'll also put that in the show notes. And they'll also release an application for people who need it as well. So
if they don't have your data,
if they don't have your data.
I also read that if you haven't filed your 2021 yet, they will go based off of your previous 3 years to figure out what your salary has been, basically.
That makes sense. They know how much you make.
Yeah. You ain't gonna be able to run from it regardless. So you're thinking, or are they saying they're gonna decide what the cap is? They're gonna decide if they give you $5K or $10K based on how much money you make.
No.
Oh, so
right now they're saying $10,000. No matter if you meet the threshold of $125,000 a year, you're getting $10,000. It says up to,
but the up to part is tricky to me,
which gives them the ability to say,
well, we said up to. We didn't say we definitely giving you 10.
Exactly.
Okay. That's how we all receiving it.
That's how we're all receiving it. But they'll be releasing updates. You could get emails from, if you want federal emails from the U.S. Department of Education and ed.gov and federalaid.com. So they send you updates and stuff like that.
So what are your personal thoughts on this about the loan forgiveness? The 10K are just what?
I don't care. It don't impact me. I don't care.
What about for the economy? You was just talking about me saying
I don't care. But let me tell you why I don't care. Number one, because we don't have student loans. But also, people ask us all the. I see they don't ask us, but I see these tweets all the time. I was literally going through a thread, and they was like, "What happened to the people who already paid off their student loans? Or already paid $20,000? Do I get the $20,000 back?"
Absolutely not.
You took the initiative. You paid off your loans. Hopefully, you took that money and did other things with it. But at the end of the day, you took initiative, so you should be proud of yourself. Like, give yourself a round of applause.
But you know how those people, there are specific people, and I'm not going to say who exactly.
So I'm not the type of person that's mad about it or like, to me, it's like, congrats. I'm happy that, friends and family, relatives, people who are trying to pay off their student loans, they got $10,000 or maybe $20,000 less to have to pay off. That makes me happy. That makes me excited. But in terms of like me caring about it and whether, we paid off our loans, we should get money back, I'm like, absolutely not.
Oh, no. I've never thought of it like that. I just meant like, what do you think? Do you think it's going to help the economy? Because many people feel like if loans are paid off, student loans are paid off for whoever or across the board, then the economy would be stimulated again because people will have more money to give back into. Do you think that would happen?
I don't think so.
You think people just like, all right, I'm gonna pocket my money and do what I got to do?
Because what I feel like happens is like, all right, let's say you got $50,000 and your student loan payment is $700 a month. It drops down to, let's say, $550, maybe $650, I don't know, a month. It's not gonna change your life. Unless you have 10,000, 20,000 and it cuts it in half or wipes it away completely, I don't think it changes much. You get an extra $50 a month, maybe $100 a month. I don't think you're gonna go crazy with that. It's different than you getting a $2,000 check in your pocket in your bank account that same day. If they release,
you're saying like what the stimulus did.
Yeah, what the stimulus did, it gave you $10,000, it gave you $2,000 in your pocket immediately. Versus if they cut it down by $10,000, that's over the course. You still got those $20,000, $30,000 that you got to pay over the course of that time. So it's not gonna cut down your monthly payment by that much, in my opinion, unless you have 10 or 20,000.
Okay, that makes sense. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'm just happy for everybody that something is happening. Now, is it what people expected? Not necessarily, but you can't. There's nothing you can do about it. Is how I see it. Take what you got or pay it off. Either way, take what you got or pay it off and move on from there. So we just wanted to share the information that we had, that we've read, that we've gathered. And as we said, and the other part of this is that this seems to only be for undergrad. Did you hear that this is for grad?
Nobody told you to go to grad school.
Wow. Okay. Nobody told you to go to undergrad.
There you go.
It's a little unclear on what. I think it's only for undergrad. So this wouldn't even pertain to me anyway.
Nope.
If I was still in the game. So there goes that. Let me see if there's anything else. Reasons why we think that this is happening now.
Midterm elections. We did it, Joe. Try and get a quick win in.
Things are circling back. I think that his numbers has been a little low. And this was part of his plan, though. So maybe he just like give me a little time to get acclimated, and now I can show up and show you guys what I can do. But yeah, that's it for us.
Appreciate you guys being here.
Once again, we didn't do a commercial break.
Well, so wrap it up.
You do a wrap up break.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You guys are new here. We own a 7-figure cleaning business. And that was one of the reasons we were able to pay off $114,000 of debt in 23 months. Check out cleanitbusinessuniversity.com, where we teach you how to start and scale a remote cleaning business without cleaning any houses. We have a webinar coming up, a free masterclass where you can learn all the game, all the sauce. Link is going to be somewhere around here. If you're listening to this, link will be in the show notes. If you watch us on YouTube, link will be in the show notes as well. So tap in.
Also, once again, please subscribe, share, comment, let people know what we're talking about. Let us know if there's anything else you want to hear more about. And that's it. Have a great one.
All right, guys. Peace.
This has been an episode of the Hartzog Hustle Podcast. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite listening platform. And follow Anthony and Janilka on Instagram at The Hartrimony. That's TheHartrimony. Keep hustling, baby. Keep hustling, baby.
Get that money. Get that money.